Hello goat lovers, Crystal here with Blue Cactus Dairy Goats, and we have had 19 does that kidded. They're all bagged up, they're all making milk, but this is the time of year after they have their babies that they need to get coppered again. I need to worm them and I need to shave those udders for a clean milking. Okay, so Mayo's gonna be our first little goatie up. First off, I'm gonna give them their copper. If you're new to the channel, copper is just a vital supplement that is just beneficial for the overall health of the goat. It's something that we give twice a year. I give it to them a month before they start breeding, and then I give it to them after they kid. So this is a bolus gun, and these are copper pills filled with copper rods. Let's see. Now some people will just feed it to them in a Fig Newton, marshmallow, something like that. And that's perfectly fine, but you're gonna have to give them copper more frequently rather than the 6 months. If you do it with the bolus gun, it lodges down into the bottom chamber of the stomach, and these little copper rods will lodge into the stomach lining, giving it a slower release. So, doing it this way, it's about 6 months. So I put some peanut butter in the end of this because the pill is just too small. It won't stay in there. And then you're just gonna shove that pill in. So you see the pill in the end of that, and the peanut butter just helps stick it in there so that it doesn't fall out. So I'm gonna wrangle this girl here. Come here, baby. You lift their head up. I know. You gotta get that in the back of their throat. Carefully. You gotta wait for them to open up. Make sure it's in the back of the throat. All right, girl. Punch it down, and then slowly take that out. Good girl. Just like that. Good girl. So next up, I am going to give her a shot of wormer. Now we do the worming around the same time as the copper every year. So before they breed and then after they kid. And any time in between, if they have parasites, external parasites or anything like that, this stuff works awesome. Now this here's the knockoff brand. It's normectin, but it's the same as ivermectin. It works really, really awesome for internal and external parasites. So make sure you just check your area. As far as dosage goes, I give them in my area, that's a loud chicken. In my area, because we're so dry here, they don't need as much as it may be in the wetter climates. So I just give the swine dose, which is 1 cc per 75 pounds, and you can give up to 3 times that dose. But again, just depends on your area. Talk to your local goat people or your vet. I'm going to give it here in the shoulder. So you're going to clean it with alcohol really well. And this is sub-Q, meaning under the skin, it is not in the muscle. And you just got a clean syringe and a clean needle. And I use a 20 gauge. You certainly could use 18 if you wanted. 22 is a little bit small, so. All right, there's 2 sides to the needle. There's a longer end and a shorter end, and you need the longer sharp end up against the body. All right, so she's gonna get it right here in the shoulder. I'm just gonna pull out a flap of skin. And again, it's sub-Q, meaning just under the skin. They do not like this shot. It does burn a bit. And then I'm just gonna pinch it off. Give it a second, and then rub it because it's gonna burn her. Good girl, good girl. You're all right, girl. Good girl. So it's a lot easier on me than it is on her, but she'll be okay. A lot of them will scream, so don't freak out about it, because again, it just burns, and Typically the bucks are a lot worse than the does are about it, but they don't like it. And it goes away in about a minute. Good girl. All right, so now is what we call the milk shave. It's just shaving the udder and the underbelly, even getting some of the longer hairs. You know, after they kid, they're a little bit crusty, they got some blood, but we're gonna get that area cleaned up so that when you do milk the goats, it's just a much cleaner milking. Now, all of the kids are still getting the milk, but it's just that time, and this is the next step. We do this with the does every year. So it is a little bit easier to shave their udders if they are full, but due to the fact I got 19 does, it would take just way too long, and they're gonna have to be holding the milk longer than a 12-hour period, so I'm not gonna do that to them. And it can still be done pretty easily. So I use, actually, let me tell you that, guys, these clippers are awesome. This is the Andis Pro Speed. I've had them for a couple of years. They're kind of expensive, but man, they last forever and they just work really good. And if you have a lot of goats or something to shave, they stay cool for much longer than something you'd get at, like, say, Walmart for 20 bucks. And it's just a smooth shave too. So I do recommend these. I will put a link in the description below for these. All right, so the first obvious area you shave is just the udder. Get the back of it. This doesn't have to be pretty. This whole goal isn't to show them off or anything necessarily, but just so all those long hairs and the dust that gets stuck on the long hairs, they're not falling into your milk. I just move the udder around. This girl has a really pretty udder. I love it. Again, she's just been milked out, so you can't see how pretty it is full, but okay. Now, if you can see, she still has a little bit of crusty. They will bleed after they kid for a couple weeks, sometimes even 3. I know. So here, this area, I'm just gonna stand up a little. Just get some of those hairs. Alright, now I gotta get the front of the udder and the underbelly. What, are you gonna make me strap your legs, girl?
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so for the underbelly, I'm gonna get about that far in front of the udder, just simply because the pail is right there in a lot of cases, so anything that falls. So I'm gonna get the stomach slightly as well. Get the sides. You might have to lift their leg up. The front of their udder's always pretty hairy. Alright, come around. Yes, you're being a good girl. That is it, you guys. So, just makes the area much, much cleaner. Less hair, less dirt that's gonna potentially fall into the pail, which, obviously, clean milk is good milk. All right, so I used to do the milk shave before they kidded, but it's colder for one, and for two, it really doesn't make too much of a difference because you're not gonna be able to avoid the mess that they're gonna make on their back end regardless. And then on top of that, by the time, that would have been 4 weeks ago, so I would have just had to do it again this time anyway. So I have cut that step out of the milk shave before they kid. But yeah, so we're all set with this one doe, and now we only have 18 more to go. Guys, so that took about 3 hours. I got 23 does coppered, and
whoa, ready.
All right, let's try that again with dirt and grime in my eyes and teeth. Anyway, we got 23 whole does done. They're all coppered, they're all wormed, and 19 of them got their udders shaved. So feeling really good. That was on the list, something I've been wanting to get done. So now I can check it off the list and go to other chores. So thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon.